where dust rises with every step, and the horizon never seems to end. Relentless heat, endless distance, and a quiet pull of survival dominate this land. Its balance on the knife's edge of the modern world, yet untouched by it. Quietly in the grass, a flick of movement, eyes locked, bodies low. The hunt begins before it's seen, and ends before it's even understood. The raw, primal intensity of Kenya is beyond comprehension. Forged by the Great Rift, this land has shaped life for millions of years, not only for the wild, but for humanity itself. It sustains entire ecosystems with ruthless precision, yet just as easily reclaims life through drought, fire, and unrelenting pressure. But still it endures unchanged, unbroken, alive. This place is wild and, quite frankly, unstoppable. Across East Africa, the ground opens into a vast scar stretching across the continent. Steep escarpments incline above enormous valleys, while ancient volcanic plains unfold between chains of lakes. In Kenya, the land feels sort of unfinished, as if the earth itself is still being shaped here. This immense geological fracture known as the Great Rift Valley runs directly through the country, creating one of the most dramatic landscapes on the planet. Formed by tectonic forces slowly pulling the continent apart, the Great Rift Valley reveals a terrain of collapsing basins, volcanic ridges, and deep lakes scattered along the valley floor. These shifting landforms guide rivers, carve migration corridors, and concentrate life into narrow passages where animals must travel to survive. Across these plains, grasslands unfold between soaring escarpments that quietly dictate movement, creating a landscape where every species must navigate the same unforgiving geography. Over millions of years, those same forces transformed the environment itself. Dense forests gradually gave way to open savanna. Visibility across the plains increased, and survival began to depend on animals' patience, awareness, and cooperation. Predators evolved for speed and ambush in the open terrain. Prey adapted to move in vast herds, and the balance of life shifted toward mobility and intelligence. Within these changing landscapes, a new kind of primate began adapting to the same pressures. Across the Rift Basin, fossil discoveries have revealed that some of our earliest human ancestors lived and evolved in this region. The landscapes surrounding Lake Turana have produced remains that trace the development of upright walking, endurance travel, and the gradual emergence of human anatomy. As forests retreated and grasslands expanded, early humans adapted to open terrain where long distance movement and cooperation offer the greatest chance of survival. In these harsh environments, the foundations of human evolution began to take shape. Long before humans learned to hunt, the rivers of East Africa were already ruled by one of the oldest predators still alive today. Beneath muddy banks and slow-moving channels, the Nile crocodile waits, a reptile whose lineage stretches back tens of millions of years. Perfectly adapted for ambush, it remains motionless in the water until the moment prey approaches the edge to drink. With explosive force, jaws snap shut and the river suddenly erupts into sheer violence. For countless animals crossing these waters, from antelope to migrating herds, this ancient hunter represents the final obstacle between survival and disappearance. Yet on land, another predator undeniably defines the balance of power across these plains. The lion stands as the top undisputed apex of the savannah's hierarchy, shaping the behavior of nearly every other animal that shares its territory. Unlike most big cats, lions live in highly organized social groups known as prides, where each member plays a distinct role. Females form the core of the pride and carry out most of the hunting, moving together through tall grass with patience and coordination. They launch powerful attacks as a coordinated team against prey that can weigh several times more than them. Their bodies are built for these confrontations with massive limbs to grapple and jaws capable of delivering a suffocating bite. Males serve a different but equally vital purpose. Larger and more heavily built, they patrol and defend the pride's territory against rival males that constantly seek to take control. But their immense size and strength can also become decisive during hunts. When prey proves too powerful for females to subdue alone, males occasionally charge in to deliver the crushing weight and force needed to bring the struggle to an end. In a landscape as unforgiving as here, where drought, heat, and distance constantly push animals to their limits, Securing a kill is not just a victory. It can mean the difference between survival and starvation for the entire pride, from the rivers to the open plains. Survival across these harsh landscapes has always been defined by predators. Long before early humans appeared here, the rules of this ecosystem had already been established by hunters perfectly adapted to their environment. Every movement, every migration, and every moment of hesitation carries consequences. In the natural world that unfolds across Kenya, the struggle between hunter and hunted remains the force that shapes life itself. Across these plains, the balance between predator and prey plays out every day. But in one place, the scale of this struggle becomes almost unimaginable. Here, millions of animals move across open land where visibility stretches to the horizon, and every step exposes them to danger. The sweeping grasslands of Maasai Mara National Reserve stretch across southwestern Kenya in a vast expanse of open savanna. Asia, trees, the horizon, while rolling plains extend for miles without obstruction, creating a landscape where animals can be seen from extraordinary distances. This openness forms an entire ecosystem, favoring predators built for pursuit and prey, adapted to constant vigilance. Herds gather here in immense numbers drawn by seasonal rains and fresh grass that transform the plains into one of the most productive wildlife regions in Africa. Cutting through the savanna is the Mara River, a lifeline that supports life throughout the region. Its muddy banks provide water for countless animals, but they also conceal one of the most dangerous crossings on the plains. Each year, as massive herds approach the river, hesitation spreads to the animals gathered along its edge. The current is strong, the banks are steep, and beneath the surface, powerful predators lie in wait. When the crossing finally begins, chaos erupts as hundreds of animals surge forward at once. This crossing forms part of a far larger phenomenon known as the Great Migration, one of the largest wildlife movements on Earth, so massive that it's even visible from space. Every year, almost 2 million wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle travel across the Serengeti and into Mara in search of fresh grazing. Driven by seasonal rains and dwindling grasslands, the herds move in massive waves across the savanna. But this is a treacherous place. Movement here comes with a price. This journey spans hundreds of miles and exposes them to countless dangers. Along the way, from exhausted river crossings to predators waiting patiently along the migration route for this exact moment every year. The time is now, and speed often determines success or failure. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth, capable of accelerating to incredible speeds above 60 miles per hour within mere seconds. Built with long legs, flexible spines, and enlarged nasal passages for oxygen intake, cheetahs are designed for explosive bursts of pursuit across open ground. Every part of them is a feat of nature, including their tail, which they use as a rudder to help turn during the sprint. Yet, these hunts are far from guaranteed victories. Most chases fail, and every chase consumes precious energy that cannot easily be replaced. In this ecosystem, speed is a necessity, but it alone does not guarantee survival. While the cheetah relies on speed, another predator thrives through patience and concealment. The leopard is one of the most elusive hunters on the savanna, often remaining hidden in trees or dense vegetation until the perfect moment arrives. Powerful and adaptable, it hunts a wide range of animals and frequently drags its prey high into the branches of acacia trees to avoid scavengers. They're built for this, powerful and courageous, a quality that's imperative in Kenya's wild. In a landscape filled with so many larger predators, stealth becomes a leopard's greatest advantage. Not all predators rely on stealth or speed alone. However, the hyena survives through persistence, intelligence, and social cooperation. Living in large clans, they patrol enormous territories and possess some of the most powerful jaws in the entire animal kingdom. They're capable of crushing bone and extracting every possible nutrient from a carcass. Hyenas waste almost nothing, and they don't waste opportunities to steal from others either. Even their archenemy, the lion, their eerie calls echo across the savanna at night, signaling the presence of one of the most persistent hunters in the ecosystem. Yet even among these powerful predators, the next generation faces enormous uncertainty. Within a pride, the early life of lion cubs is defined by vulnerability. Cubs spend their first months hidden in dense grass or secluded areas while their mothers hunt nearby. They play constantly with one another, stalking, pouncing, and wrestling, developing the skills they will need to survive as adults. But survival is far from guaranteed. Rival males may kill cubs when they take over a pride, and many young lions never reach adulthood. Those who do inherit the territories and hunting traditions that have ruled these plains for generations. By the way, friends, we're celebrating the launch of our official Travidia gift shop, with 25% off for the first 2 weeks after this documentary's release. Timeless travel-inspired designs are now available with many more to come. So don't wait a second longer and click the link in the description or visit trappedvip.com to explore exclusive travel deals and more. No sign-up required. This is our thanks to you for exploring this beautiful planet with us. Beyond the sweeping plains where predators hunt in open view, the landscape changes. The Earth itself splits into deeper valleys, volcanic fields, and isolated basins where heat, geology, and time outline a different kind of wilderness. These regions feel older, harsher, and far less forgiving. Here, survival is not defined only by predators, but by the restless forces of the planet beneath the surface. Hidden deep within the northern rift lies the Sugira Valley, one of the most remote and isolated landscapes in Kenya. Surrounded by towering escarpments, this vast depression contains black lava fields, wind-carved sand dunes, and ancient lake beds that hint at dramatic environmental changes over thousands of years. Temperatures here can become extreme, and sudden flash floods occasionally tear through the valley after distant storms. In this bare environment, life survives in scattered pockets where water and shade offer rare refuge. Further south, the landscape becomes even more dramatic at Hell's Gate National Park, where looming cliffs slope above a narrow valley etched by volcanic forces. The Earth's energy is visible in steaming vents and geothermal activity here that still pulses beneath the ground. Massive rock formations stand like ancient walls along the valley floor, their surfaces revealing layers of volcanic history. The terrain feels raw and exposed, offering a glimpse into the geological processes that continue shaping the rift today. And in another corner of the rift, heat and mineral-rich water create a striking environment along the shores of Lake Bogoria. Along its shoreline, steaming hot springs and geysers release bursts of boiling water,